Welcome into your Jam Happy Hour. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. It happens to be today. Whenever you're watching or listening or sharing or podcasting along, we're thrilled to have you here for the Jam Happy Hour. We are being joined by Julia Cole today, who is going to jump in from Nashville, Tennessee. Hello, love.
Howdy, how are you?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for joining us for an hour of just music and storytelling and getting to know each other a little bit better and perhaps a little bit of wine along the way, too.
About to say, are you giving me an excuse to drink wine? Because twist my arm.
Cheers to that. When you put together like good times and good friends and obviously good wine, a lot of really good stories come from that. I'm excited to learn your story and the stories of your songs and more, but let's just jump right in. Let's just set the tone for the evening here. What would you like to perform for us first?
I'd love to play a song that I wrote called Be the Whiskey. This one, it's so fitting for all of us who are probably also, semi-alcoholics. I would say a self-proclaimed semi, but like somewhat by choice. But if you've ever dated someone or loved someone who just drinks a little too much and you wish they would lean on you instead of leaning on the alcohol,
Right.
that's the inspiration for this one.
Be the Whiskey. Julia Cole here in the Jam Happy Hour. Enjoy.
Selfish, but I might be jealous of you leaning on that drink instead of leaning up on me. Maybe I wish you'd let me be the whiskey, Southern comfort, baby, that go down easy on your lips, smooth sip to forget that bitter memory. Toss me back and kiss me, baby. I'll bring that heat that you need if you let me be the whiskey. Just let me be the whiskey. That top shelf special, but don't need no warning. That all night bender, you don't regret in the morning. I'll be fire, I'll be honey, I'll be whatever you want me. Baby, just think I can be the whiskey, Southern comfort, baby, that go down easy on your lips, smooth sip to forget that bitter memory. Toss me back and kiss me, baby. I'll bring that heat that you need if you let me be the whiskey. Let me be, baby. Let me be the whiskey. Let me be that buzz, that high, that feeling right. You don't let go all night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just let me be the whiskey, Southern comfort, baby, that go down easy on your lips, smooth sip to forget that bitter memory. Toss me back and kiss me, baby. I'll bring that heat that you need if you let me be the whiskey. Let me be, baby. Let me be the whiskey. Let me be. Oh, I can be your whiskey, baby. Oh, I can be your whiskey. Just let me be the whiskey. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
Julia Cole here with us in the Jam Happy Hour. Be the Whiskey. Relatively a new song. I mean, it came out, what, last year?
It's one of the songs that it's like no matter what situation I'm in, I always want to play it because it's one of my favorite songs that I've ever written. So it came
Yeah.
out last year, but I actually had someone who is in radio and they were asking like, what song did I want to add? And I've put out, an album,
Right.
and that was still the one I picked. I was
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
I
that's
really
your
want that
baby.
one. Yeah, that's my baby.
How long did you have to kind of like sit with it from like the inception? Like the wordsmithing is fantastic with all the double
Thank you.
entendres and like just, I mean, it's such a great flow vocally as well as almost, in that storytelling kind of a way. But how long did you have to sit with that from the beginning of, Baby Be the Whiskey to where it is now? Take us through that arc of that song becoming what it is.
I think when it started, it was obviously from, inspiration of a relationship that I was
Life.
in, and it was obviously life, and that's country music for you.
Yeah.
But it was one of those nights where I was just like, everything would be so great and so much better if, this person could just control their alcohol intake, or let me be the thing that got you so excited that you don't want to ever put down instead of the
Right.
bottle.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of just, I feel like I wrote it pretty quickly because I was
You were in it.
living it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to record it. And then you get, it goes from where you picture it in your mind to where it's now, kind of out into the world. And
Oh,
becoming,
and hearing a band play it for the first time
Right.
too. Oh my gosh, it just brings the song to life. Like I love playing on my guitar, but man, when I get to play full band and I just get to like run around and bring the songs to life, it's so fun.
when did you pick up the guitar?
I'm a late bloomer. I got my start in music singing national anthems for my own volleyball and basketball games in high school.
Wow.
Did not play guitar yet. I started
Right.
to sing the anthem for everything in Houston, where I'm from. So the Texans, Astros, NASA, the Houston Dynamo, the rodeo.
Right.
And I kind of learned that the music industry existed. I had no idea that it was like something that was realistic for a
Sure.
normal person to just get into somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like everyone I knew was like a nurse or a teacher or
you're
something
like, I can
that,
do that? Like
exactly
for my job?
Yeah. And so when I learned about that, I started to meet people in the Texas country scene. And they were like, you need to move to Nashville and you need to learn how to play guitar. And so I kind of picked up guitar the summer after my senior year. So I guess 18.
Okay.
And so I've been playing it for almost a decade and absolutely loving.
I would have never have
everything about
known that was, after the fact. But I want to jump back to the national anthem stuff. What is it about that song and that it's not a job, but having that opportunity to be the one to walk out and set the event off? Like, what is that like? Like, I can talk on stage all day long. I don't have to sing or perform, but I would feel like the butterflies in that moment of like, don't screw it up. Because it's the song everybody knows inside and out. Like, what
And there's
about
no instruments,
singing?
so it's just
Oh.
like, it's literally
It's
you
you.
and the mic. Yeah.
What drew you to that?
Well, it's so funny because the lack of nerves is probably why I became a singer.
Ah.
I remember, so I did it so many times for my own games. And I mean, like, I was in uniform on the court playing, like
I already love you.
warm-ups,
This
like
is so
sweating,
good.
and then go to the sidelines, huffing and puffing, have to like, say like sing this anthem. I'm already sweaty, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And then go right back out on the court. So I had to do it in like repeatedly in such a don't think about it way.
Right.
Like I have a game to focus on too. Like this is just
You're-
part of
yeah.
it. And then I remember the Texans, the first anthem I ever did that wasn't my school was for the Houston Texans. And
No biggie.
it was crazy. And my whole family came. And my sound check that morning went great. And then I walk off the field and they're like, hey, that was great, but we need you to cut like 45 seconds off of your anthem
Oh,
by 3:00.
the one you've been practicing for
years.
Great. Yeah, no problem.
So my dad and I, classic, like it was like track mode. Like he was timing me running laps around the track. We went into one of the like rooms in the stadium, and he was just like, "All right, go." And so I just tried to like speed through it and like cut out a bunch of time. And he was like, okay, that was too fast. Now like you can do this. And so I like went through it a bunch of times and I just remember because my family was aware of that like change that had happened, they were just super nervous for me because it was
Right.
like this curveball no one saw coming.
And then you can feel it from them.
But I wasn't nervous. I just remember like looking around at the crowd
Right.
and just being like, this is wild. And then like I'm singing, this is while I'm singing.
Right.
So the words are just kind of autopilot. And I
Sure.
was just like looking around and then the jets were flying over. And then before I knew it, it was done. And I was like, dang, that was so short.
That you're like, I forgot to enjoy that.
Well, I only enjoyed it. Like I literally just was like, this is wild for about, 90 seconds. It's a short song. So
That's very interesting that you bring up, thinking while you're singing. And I don't know how many people realize that you can have entire conversations
entire
head
conversations, yeah.
while you're doing something else with
Should
your
we?
head.
Probably not. Do we? Absolutely. I'm
Yeah,
like looking at the crowd. I'm like, look at that guy. Look at he's like being mean to his girlfriend, or like, oh, those girls are having so much fun over there, like mid song.
I do the same thing too. Julia Cole
people
here in the
watching.
Jam Happy Hour. I love that you said that so much. I'll be reading through a script, and in my head, I'll be saying, "Don't mess up. Don't go too fast. Don't trip over that word." And I'm like, "Who does this in their heads?" Well, Julia does. So,
Yeah. Can I tell you
hey.
something so funny too about the national anthem?
yeah.
It has brought me to some really cool, unexpected things that I would have never otherwise been invited to. Like we were just talking about the Chiefs Stadium. Like I got
Right,
to
at
sing for
Arrowhead.
the Chiefs at Arrowhead. But I just got asked to perform the national anthem in Dubai.
What?
The American national anthem
In
in UAE in Dubai.
well, you're gonna do it,
And
right?
I went. I just did
Okay,
it.
like you're gonna do that,
And they
right?
booked me for it like 3 weeks before I went over there. And it was like it was a baseball showcase and it was international. So they had multiple national anthems sang.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, who would have thought that the American national anthem was going to take me on a 25-hour commute to Dubai to sing it?
How was that trip?
It was the most fun, like, it was an unforgettable experience. I'll never
That's so
forget
cool.
any moment of it. It was really cool.
Do you believe in like projecting and like having, you're almost like a vision board, like where
Oh yeah,
you
manifesting 100%.
totally manifesting it. So thinking ahead to your world tour, will there be a stop in Dubai?
Oh, absolutely. I've already planned. Like, I bet you I go back to sing for when they do the winter ball series of this baseball league next winter. I'm probably going back next year.
I mean, you can't really have baseball without the USA.
I'm just saying. And some
And now
hot
you're the
dogs.
girl.
They even
You're
had
like-
hot dogs over there.
Stop it! All right.
I'm telling you.
I want to delve offline. I know I saw some pictures on your Instagram while you were over there. If you guys want to connect socially, please do. You can follow Julia at Julia Cole Music. And then if you are enjoying the music, please add her to your playlists and your accounts and shares and all that good stuff because the algorithm listens and it all matters. And we're here to support great music. And it's time to jump in on our second song because we are talkers. And this whole hour is going to get away from
Exactly.
us. And I
It
love
is.
it. But what would you like to play for us next?
Would you mind if I try a new one?
I would love it if you would try a new
I'm
one.
like so nervous. I've never played this.
Ooh.
But this song is coming out on my EP that comes out in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Texas, but both of my parents are from Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
So my whole upbringing, my dad had Cajun restaurants. Like that was his job for my whole
Oh, yum.
childhood. And so he had Floyd's Cajun Kitchen, Mardi Gras Grill, Big Woodrow's,
I need
Outriggers
etouffee now.
Seafood, and Gator Grill. And
Wow.
yeah, so I grew up like all we had were gumbos, etouffee. We're making beignets at home. Like it was Cajun Texas.
Adopt me.
Right. My parents are cooks, let me tell you. But
I love it.
my mom, the saying every time we were running late for something or trying to make the impossible possible and like fit more into the time that was allotted than is physically possible. She would
Right.
just always use this phrase of like, we're always trying to fit Texas and Louisiana and you just can't do it.
Oh.
And it started to kind of just be a phrase that we used for anything impossible that you were trying to make happen that just like wasn't meant to be. And I went through
I like that.
some stuff in my life recently, and my mom was just kind of like, you keep trying to, but you can't fit Texas and Louisiana. And I went into a co-write the next day, and I was like, can we just take a swing at this and see if there's something there? So I'm going to try to play it for y'all, but
Well, we wouldn't know if you messed it up. We're just going to enjoy
I've never
it.
done this before, so wish me luck.
We like it. She's got nothing but bravery. Julia Cole in the Jam Happy Hour.
He's watching my taillight shine from his front porch one last time. I'm watching the mileage on this Wrangler dashboard climb. Might head to my mama's, sleep in my sister's, or just keep crossing them county lines. I can let the tears roll down. I just can't turn back around. Can't put raindrops back in a cloud. Can't put lies back in your mouth. Can't turn highways back to dirt lanes. And you can't unkiss somebody. That sun can't spin round the moon. Ain't no one outrunning the truth. Can't turn a boy into a man, can ya? Can't fit Texas, Texas and Louisiana. Gas station pit stop in Beaumont, another memory hit of a promise he promised to keep, but he never did. Some second chances drag out the damage when it's something you can't forgive. I ain't one for quitting. Swear if I could, I would fix him, but can't put raindrops back in a cloud. Can't put lies back in your mouth. Can't turn highways back to dirt lanes. And you can't unkiss somebody. That sun can't spin round the moon. Ain't no one outrunning the truth. Can't turn a boy into a man, can ya? Can't fit Texas, Texas and Louisiana. You can't fit Texas and Louisiana. Oh, you can give it your heart, give it months, give it years, give it prayers and therapy, blood, sweat and tears. But a knife in your back can't be unturned. A bridge can't be unburned. Can't put raindrops back in a cloud. Can't put lies back in your mouth. Can't turn highways back to dirt lanes. And you can't unkiss somebody. That sun can't spin round the moon. Ain't no one outrunning the truth. Can't turn a boy into a man, can ya? Can't fit Texas, Texas and Louisiana. Texas and Louisiana.
Wow. I would say you pulled it off.
Oh, thank you.
Nah, that was great.
That's the only thing that makes me nervous is playing a new song, let me tell you.
I mean, when it comes to playing, though, like, you know, we talked a little offline about, you know, during the pandemic, we were all like doing things like this. And then, you know, you get back out there and it's like, you know, small rooms and bigger rooms, collaborations. And then it's on to, you know, I don't know, Grand Ole Opry stage.
How crazy.
I'm looking behind you. I can see the sign behind you.
I'm not over it. I'm not cool enough. Like, if I was super cool, I'd be like, oh, I don't need to put that up. I'm not that cool. Like,
No.
I just, every day I wake up and I like walk out in here and I'm like, dang, I played the Grand Ole Opry. That's so wild.
How
I've
did
played
that
there
come
like
about?
12 times now.
So it's like, okay, well, then we'll reference back to your I don't get nervous energy now. So is it like old hat now or is it like
No.
you still like
No.
hallowed
It
halls
is
and all?
it is hallowed halls and all. And the coolest thing about the Opry is it's every night is different because it's a different lineup of artists. So you never know who you're gonna be with backstage.
Oh,
And
fun.
I'm not kidding you. Last time I sang at the Opry, it was a country classics night, and I went out to sing Randy Travis, Forever and Ever Amen, because I put a cover of that out.
Yeah.
Randy Travis showed up and was on the stage with me mid song. I didn't even know he was going to be there. And I literally was like hyperventilating because then I saw him. I was just like, you're kidding me right now. I'm singing his song
And
and
he's
watching
right
me?
there.
I almost had a panic attack. But it was like, that's the kind of moment that I'm going to be, God willing, 90 years old and be
Right.
like, there was this one time I sang Forever and Ever Amen to Randy Travis at the
On
Grand Ole
stage.
Opry.
On the Grand Ole. Yeah. Oh, my God. It's
Magic
such-
happens there. It's just there's not a place in the world like it.
So much of the business is about networking and marketing and, being in the right place and being at the right time. What a place to be, meeting and growing. And we've talked about it before in the podcast. Nashville is such a very interesting microcosm of music because it is so collaborative that, I can't think of another place, anything like it where you're like, okay, I'm going to get together with a bunch of other songwriters and we're going to work on each other's music, or I'm going to get together with a bunch of guitar players and we're going to critique each other. It's like everybody is literally there to make each other better.
Let me tell you, co-writing is the absolute best and absolute freest form of therapy. And we get it every day here in town. It's amazing.
That's why everybody's so happy on Broadway at night. They've gotten all their demons out.
Well, I'm saying you got to be sad first. You get a good song out of it, and then you can be happy.
I've never heard it put that way. But you know what? If you can sit around in a room of a bunch of people that are creative and can help you get out what you're trying to get out, yeah.
Yeah, I joke about it, but it really is, it's serious. Like you sit there in a room and you spill your heart out to people who you just have to trust with all your realest and rawest emotions. Because this town isn't like a lot of other places where you would just sit down by yourself and write the song.
Right.
You go into a co-write because, when you have extra people's perspective, they can kind of get you out of your own head a little bit.
Right.
And pull the pieces from your heartbreak or your story that are relatable to them, which means it's probably going to be also relatable to more people.
Right.
So it's you get to get your emotions out and at the same time have people be telling you their own stories. And these co-writes, they're like, well, I also went through something like this and this is my experience. Maybe we should also put this in the song. And that's how the best lyrics, at least for me, have come about. We kind of combine all of our experiences.
And lyrically, I mean, your music is strong. You've put out a ton of music, in like the last few years, and more so than like you would see from a lot of artists. Is that just because you've just got so much to tell, or is it because like is it this new industry way of like, if you've got it, put it out there, boom?
I think so. During COVID, all my tours got canceled. And I was kind of forced to figure out I'm such a busy bee. Like I cannot sit still. I was like, I need to do something else to fill every second of my day.
Right.
And so I started doing social media pretty heavy. And I had a song blow up on TikTok. And when I tell you like millions of people overnight went to go stream this song, and there were
And
probably
you wake up and you're like, whoa.
I'd never experienced anything like it. And there were, I don't remember exactly how many. It's probably like 30 or 40,000 videos that people made lip syncing their own, like,
To
lip
your
syncing
audio.
the song to my audio and doing their own stories of like their breakup or how they were cheated on or whatever it was to this song lyric. And it was crazy. But that kind of opened my eyes to, okay, that song was 8 months old already. And so it opened my eyes to like, okay, a song is always brand new until someone hears it. It's a
Exactly.
new song to them until they've heard it. So instead of me just trying to force a single song down the industry as hard as I can.
On a timeline.
I'm just gonna make music and let people decide which ones they like, because I know I like all of the ones I'm putting out. So I have confidence and faith in them that there's probably at least one other person who's going to be positively impacted by this song. So why it's going to do more good for the world out than saved on my
stuck in.
Dropbox, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
And you write so many songs. I went years where I didn't put anything out, or I'd only put like 1 or 2 out a year or something like that. And I had this whole back catalog of songs that this light bulb went off, and I was like, there's only 52 weeks in a year. Like, there's no way that all the songs that I have written could see the light of day. Like, it's just not possible. And when I started to realize
you have to put one out a day.
You would. I mean, I'm like, nobody, one, people don't want that many. Two, I'm sure not all the songs are worthy of that. But there are a lot that I just realized, like, they fit this certain section of my life and they might not anymore. So if they don't come out when it's relevant to my life, I might never put it out. And so I try to stay a little more current with my own songs for what I'm feeling, so that I'm still like really in that passion of that song when I'm out touring and playing that song.
No, I mean, that makes sense though. The flip side of that, you look at like what Taylor's doing.
Oh yeah.
For the From the Vault. So going back to, you know, where she was at that point and going, no, this was a good song. And I mean, obviously and happy birthday to Taylor today, but
happy birthday, Taylor.
Hey, happy Tay Day. But you talk about being in the moment and being in that headspace and wanting to have that song out then. I think of it as the listener and as the fan, that I'm just going to want to hear what you're up to, you know, either way. And maybe I'm in that place where you were when you wrote it and put it together. So I don't know, it's a very interesting. We've talked about musical babies before.
They are. I was literally about to say that. Your songs are your babies. And
they're your babies.
It feels mean to me that some of them just get put in this closet and never get to go out and enjoy the world, you know?
We'll bring that up in our next therapy session for sure. Exactly. Like the other babies.
Are you starting to see inside my crazy brain a little bit?
I'm feeling your crazy brain. I feel like it's a great time to jump back in on our third song here with Julia Cole in the Jam Happy Hour this evening. And thanks again for being here with us. What would you like to play next?
Well, thank you again for having me. And I actually, since you talked about the Grand Ole Opry, I want to sing the song that I made my Opry debut with. And it's also the holidays, and I feel like a lot of people are, you know, fresh off of Thanksgiving and moving into where they're all going to go see their families and their loved ones. And for me, there's not been anything in the world more consistent than my family. Like, my family is my rock, and I have been so blessed with that. And I've learned over the years that that's not everybody's situation. But for my Grand Ole Opry debut, my grandpa, Poppy, he loved the Opry. He loved country music more than literally anyone in my family. And he's my first and only grandparent that's passed away. And right before my debut, I was able to ask him if I could wear something of his on stage. And he was already bedridden, and I knew he wasn't going to be able to go. And he gave me all his old Western wear shirts, and my friend Kelly made my Grand Ole Opry dress with Poppy's fabric.
Stop it.
So every outfit you've seen on red carpets or on album art or anything since Poppy passed away, which was last New Year's, every outfit's been with Poppy fabric in it. So my family is always with me. And that song that I made my debut with, I actually wrote for my grandma, his wife, Maudie. My mom asked me to write this song for my grandma, and I sat down. I wrote this one by myself in Houston for my grandma's birthday, and I realized at the end of it that it was about my mom and my grandma. So if you love your mom, if you love your grandma, you know, this one's out, or just, you know, send them a video of it. But this song is called White Pearls, and it's about how moms and grandmas are angels here on earth.
Amen to that. White Pearls with Julia Cole here in the Jam Happy Hour.
You paint stories like the Sistine Chapel, make heaven out of apple pie with sweet tea on the side. The way you talk to God like he's an old friend would make anyone want to meet him. You're the voice of reason when I'm losing my mind. And oh, you're how I know. Angels with white pearls and pray on front porch swings. Love the piano and ain't scared of damn near anything. Their daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. You're how I know angels, angels with white pearls. You've got your own little garden of Eden, dogwoods and bluebirds feeding. I can never quite get my front yard looking good as yours. So I'll just have to visit much as I can. Lord knows I miss you. Your amazing grace inspires me. Yeah, I got faith 'cause I believe. Angels with white pearls and pray on front porch swings. Love the piano and ain't scared of damn near anything. Their daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. You're how I know angels, angels with white pearls, angels with white pearls. Oh, 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 yeah.
Do you have some of her pearls?
Oh, I do. And my mom had all of us made some jewelry with pearl snaps from Poppy's shirts too. So, and they're like pearl too.
Yeah, like they're legit, the real deal.
It's so cool. And he's always with me and I can literally feel it. Like he got to make his Opry debut too, for sure.
Oh, I love how you incorporate that, into kind of everything moving forward. And it seems like you're very comfortable with sharing, not only just like your personal stories, but obviously your feelings, where you've been, what you've been through. Like you're putting a lot of it out into the music. And especially in this day and age with social media and the fact that, anybody can be anywhere at any time. How do you keep a balance between, what you're comfortable with sharing and what you want to keep to yourself?
It's really probably the hardest thing about this job. It's when you write the songs, it's therapy and it's like what you needed and it's how you get through anything you're going through.
Right.
But performing the songs, that's when it gets dicey. And I've had some internal battles about, can I really put this lyric in here? Can I, who else is going to be affected by this song being written? And I try to walk that fine line and I do on this new project that's coming out, there's a song, the one that's coming out after Texas and Louisiana actually. And there was a line in the first verse that I was just like, I've literally been asking, I was like, am I bad for putting this truth in here? And it was like, you're not saying who it is or anything like that, and it is like a truth.
Oh, but they'll know.
Happened to you. No one else will, but that person will. Yeah,
100%.
It's one
I
of
get
those
it. You're
things-
like, okay, am I reopening this can?
Yeah, and so, but I've had, honestly, I would love anybody watching to tell me in my DMs what your opinion is. But I feel like most people have been like, you can't compromise the song and the art Like, you can't change. Don't be scared of the truth. It's different if you're lying, but if it's
Right.
really the truth, then. So, yes, long story short, your question is very valid, and think
Having
about
those
performing in
boundaries.
front of people you know. Like,
There's that.
there, when I sing in front of a crowd of people who are just part of the Cole team and fans, like, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it. I'll tell you all the tea. But like, go to a show and my dad's sitting in the front row and he's just like,
Hey, Dad.
I'm like, remember that line about kissing that boy? I'm gonna skip that line.
Well, just that one.
Yeah.
But it goes back to authenticity, I think. And especially in this world where now we're competing with like AI and tech and disconnection and just everybody, like 2019 is almost 5 years ago. It's like
Don't say that.
bonkers, right? But people have been
No.
through a lot. And I think what they want more than anything is to feel connected and to also feel like what they're getting is real. And so I think that's when like music like yours will cut through because you're keeping it very real,
It's
bugs and all.
it's not necessarily fun to do that, but whenever I get messages from people that say, like, I've had so many different messages from different songs. People will be
Sure.
like, this song saved my marriage, or this song got me through my divorce, or got me through my breakup, or I didn't want to keep going and this song gave me motivation to keep going, or
It feels great.
it just reminds me why I'm doing it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not for the writing the song is for me.
Right.
The performing the song, the releasing the song, that's not for me, That's for anybody who needs the song.
Who needs the song? Yeah. Well, when you're having a tough day and you're coming home and you're feeling crummy, what is kind of your go-to good mood music?
I have this playlist made and I call it Country Soul, and it is literally not country or soul at all. So I can't explain why I made that the title, but it's this weird genre of, like, I call it happy rap, because
Okay.
it's not like hardcore rap, but it's stuff like Chance the Rapper.
Okay.
You know what I
Definitely
mean?
not country soul.
No, exactly. I'm trying, but I'm like, if you want it, that's what I'm saying, is like on, I
Yeah.
think it's on Apple Music is where that playlist is. I'm like, if you type in Country Soul playlist, the playlist will come up and you could see what all the songs are that I have on it.
Very cool.
But it's stuff like Kyle, like, do you know Kyle? the
Yeah,
rapper?
yeah.
It's that kind of like that old school piano rhythmic, like cigarettes on patio. It's like that kind of stuff. It's just,
And
it's
it'll work
happy
every
rap.
time.
Yeah.
Every time. By the way, if you are jumping in and looking for the playlist, go ahead and favorite
It's literally
Julia's
not my
as
music.
well.
So
No, but like jump into your
yeah.
pages and favorite yours as
Oh,
well. Here in the Jam Happy Hour, we are hanging out with Julia Cole. Just having fun, sipping some wine, listening to some music. What would you like to play for us next?
Do you
We only have like
want-
20 minutes left.
Oh my gosh, no.
Told you it goes by so fast.
Let me see. Let's give y'all, I like to go sweet and then salty. Let's give you a salty one.
Let's be salty, shall we?
Let's give you a little salty one.
What is this track?
Let's see. Okay. This one is definitely, when songwriting is therapy. So I went into a co-write with my friends Rachel Womack and my producer Josh Ronan, who's like one of my best friends. I was a groomswoman in his wedding. Like, we're
Nice.
besties.
Close.
So the three of us sit down to write something, and Rachel and I are like, what should we write about today? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's kind of just talk about maybe some of our experiences, and maybe something will inspire us.
Right.
So we kind of just started exchanging stories about our exes,
Good
and
times.
it almost turned into a competition of like who had a crazier story. Oh yeah, well mine. Oh well, you won't believe
Check this out.
And And I said, well, this is way too crazy to put into the song, but my ex hung the watch that I bought him on a tree branch and shot it with a rifle. And she was
That's
like,
aggressive.
she goes, honey, that is the first lyric of our song. And so I put this out as a duet with my friend Alexandra Kay. And this one is called Best Worst Ex.
Love it. Here you go, Julia Cole in the Jam Happy Hour.
My ex hung the watch that I bought him on a tree branch and shot it with a rifle. My ex said the preacher's daughter, she was just a good friend. He swore it on the Bible. Ooh, girl, now, you can't make this shit up. So tell me, ooh, girl, yeah, before you kicked him to the dust, did he cheat, did he lie, did he love to make you cry and call you crazy? Was he drunk, was he drama and mean to his mama and call your best friend baby? Oh, when it comes to him, I know I'm gonna win. Nobody's ever done that better. I got the best, worst ex ever. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My ex showed up yelling at my new man's window, shouting, come on out and fight. My ex, yeah, the second that we broke up, straight up, was begging me to be his wife. Ooh, girl, I got a million stories and I got all night. So tell me, ooh, girl, yeah, where's another bottle of wine? Did he cheat, did he lie, did he love to make you cry and call you crazy? Was he drunk, was he drama and mean to his mama and call your best friend baby? Oh, when it comes to him, I know I'm gonna win. Nobody's ever done that better. I got the best, worst ex ever. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did he cheat? Did he lie? Did he love to make you cry and call you crazy? Was he drunk? Was he drama and mean to his mama and call your best friend baby? When it comes to him, I know I'm gonna win. Nobody's ever done that better. I got the best, worst ex, the best, worst ex, the best, worst ex ever. Whoa, 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 yeah, whoa, 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 yeah.
Now you got me like scrolling through the Rolodex of like the exes. I'm like, which one was the best, worst one?
It's so funny to read the comments on any of these videos we have of the song that have gone super viral. All the comments are just girls being like, my ex, da, 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 da. It's like the wildest comment section I've ever seen. Because some of this stuff is like, literally people are in prison for what they did. I'm like,
I mean, that makes for a good read. So you know,
It
if you
is
guys
a-
aren't following Julia on socials, now's a good time to jump in on Instagram and YouTube and all that fun stuff too, because I am always here for a good comment story, especially when you know you're writing about it. And like you said, these co-writing sessions can be so interesting at times. Obviously, you started off as a vocalist. At what point did you consider yourself a songwriter?
You know, I think that songwriters are always growing and always getting better, and that's part of why when I was talking about wanting to release songs in the era that I wrote them, it's partially because you get better as a songwriter and you
Right.
start to judge your old songs kind of harshly in like, I would have done this differently or changed this or do whatever.
Yeah.
So there's some songs that I'm like, this would have made it out into the world if I would have put it out during that era of my songwriting. Not to say it's the best thing in the world. It's just like
It's part of
those
the evolution.
It's part of the evolution. And so I have now gotten to a point as a songwriter where like my standards are extremely high on a lyric, and
Nice.
I'm going back and I'm changing it like up until the last second possible. I'm making sure I'm tweaking it and making sure that it's exactly what I want it to be. And this town is the best teacher. Nashville's songwriting community, it truly is the best in the world. It's like the Mecca. And I was so blessed to learn early on from really incredible hit writers who like took me under their wing. My first publishing deal, and I tell you, they like, it was like a class. I mean, they like took the songs I was writing and they broke it down completely. And they were like, this needs to be like this. You should have done this here.
Wow.
You know, you only have so much real estate in a song. Don't say the same thing twice. Like, don't confuse people with this. Don't. And I'm not kidding. It was like,
But rather than
so-
being broken down by something like that, you're like, you took it all in. You're like, okay, I'm listening. I'm paying attention.
Well, they were always right. It was so cool
They were
because
always right.
they were never just like, this sucks. You shouldn't write, you know? They always gave me a reason. Like, I see where you were coming from, but if you do this or this or this, like, look at what it will do for the song, where it will take the listener, how this develops better. And, you know, I love learning. I was one of those
Yeah.
weird kids that liked school. So and I have pretty thick skin. So I never really took offense to, I hadn't done
If
it.
it makes you
know?
better, you
I'd
know,
never
it's
done it
like,
before. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, please tell me, like, help me learn how to be like you. You know, they're hit writers. So
and more often than not, especially not so much specifically to Nashville, I think you see it more there. Songwriters end up becoming the performers and end up becoming, you know, the voices behind some of their songs because it is so honest and it is so true and they're so good at it that it's like it only makes sense, you know, for you to be, you know, songwriting your songs, performing your songs, and in many cases, you know, songwriters doing that as well too. It's a very unique thing.
I was just checking the date on that song I played, White Pearls, because that song I wrote by myself. So it's one of the lyrics where I can be like, this was truly done just by me, and I can use it as, I'm really
litmus
proud
test.
of those lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
And I wrote that in 2019. So that's a year I guess I can look at. And there is going to be a song on this album that's coming out that I found down in the archives that I wrote in 2017.
Wow.
But I didn't write it alone. So I can't be like, okay, this was just my genius, you know.
Well, other than, I mean, songwriting, you do like to collaborate. I mean,
love
you've
to.
put out songs with, you know, other artists, you know, a good amount of them. Like some people are like, no, it's just me. But you're really into that collaborative spirit. What do you like about working with somebody else, either vocally or songwriting, you know, that you keep going back to it?
I played sports my entire life, and I love having a team. And when I first came here, I honestly I was like, I need a band. I don't want to do this by myself. Like, that's no
Right.
fun. I want to win with somebody. And the same folks, Chuck and Laurie, who signed me to that publishing deal, they were like, you don't want a band because everything that you have to commit to, you have to make sure their schedule is open to. And not only them, you have to make sure, like, down the road that their wives, their husbands, their kids' recital doesn't interrupt your schedule.
Right.
So it's like the more people involved in your band, you just are limited on just your actual schedule. And so I never started the band, but I kind of built a crew of a band around me that aren't necessarily like, they don't have to be at everything I'm at, so I could bring somebody else, but
Sure.
we're family now. So I do have this like core team of people, but doing the collaborations and the duets, it was that. I wanted a team. It's so fun when you win together. And
Right.
I did a whole tour with Charles Esten after we put our duet out, and he's the actor from Outer Banks and Nashville, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And we put a duet out and toured that one. It was so fun. He was actually, you never know what opportunities come from also collaborating with people.
Right.
He invited me to sing my first time on the Ryman stage. And there's
Slightly iconic.
super iconic. And also we just became like best friends, and his family is amazing. And so like when you collaborate with other people, if you're a hard worker, you don't, for me, I don't know about everybody else, but I don't make a lot of time for relationships that aren't my family or involved with my work somehow.
Right.
So in a lot of these collaborations, my best friends have been made.
That's great though.
Because I
Because
spend
you
the
can
most
share
time with
that.
them. Yeah.
I want to talk about what's coming up. I know there are plans for the new year, but I also want to grab another song before we run out of our time here. We got about 10 minutes left. It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
What would you like to play for the Jam Happy Hour next?
Well, so I'll let you pick. Because
Ooh.
both of them I'm not like super comfortable with them yet because they're both new. But we're like talking about new stuff for the year. So I'm like, I don't really
it's
feel like
perfect.
archives right now. One song just came out. It's my newest release, and it's called Bulletproof. And one song is going to be released like in the fall next year.
Oh.
And it's actually that song from 2017 is the other option. So
see, now
that
I'm
one's called
curious.
Wouldn't Change a Thing. So you tell me.
kind of want to go with the Wouldn't Change a Thing.
Okay. It's done.
There we go.
I'm gonna try to get through this one, but I've only played it probably like once or twice,
Oh, no pressure.
and I'm really nervous about it. But I
Well,
hope
you
like
got
it.
this, girl. I can already
Okay.
tell. Julia Cole here in the Jam Happy Hour. This is Wouldn't Change a Thing.
If I had a time machine and could do things differently, I'd hold on to 17 and save a little more money. But from the moment we said hello to sitting here on the patio, baby, you should know, when it comes to you and me, I wouldn't change a song, wouldn't change a sunburn, not a midnight moonlight wrong turn, wouldn't change a kiss, breeze on the beach, wouldn't change a cover band dance with your two left feet, a fight, a beer, a smile, a tear, a single touch that got us here tonight. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing. If someday you were really gone and I had to move on, I'd still look back on the two of us, every heartbeat of this love. I wouldn't change a song, wouldn't change a sunburn, not a midnight moonlight wrong turn, wouldn't change a kiss, breeze on the beach, wouldn't change a cover band dance with your two left feet, a fight, a beer, a smile, a tear, a single touch that got us here tonight. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a song, wouldn't change a sunburn, not a midnight moonlight wrong turn, wouldn't change a kiss, breeze on the beach, wouldn't change a cover band dance with your two left feet, a fight, a beer, a smile, a tear, a single touch that got us here tonight. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing. Oh, 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 I wouldn't change a thing. Oh, I wouldn't change a thing.
Julia Cole, wouldn't change a thing, which you did kind of change because it's old, but it's new, but it's like,
Right? I
how did that
totally.
feel? How did it feel?
The demo I had for it was actually it was a male vocalist, and it was in a
Mm,
completely different key. And I was playing through. We had one of those days where I was like, we're just gonna pull out all the old stuff and
sure.
just listen through it and just see if there's any needles in the haystack and diamonds in the rough. And we
That's it.
found that song, and I was like, I low key feel like this would fit on my new project, even though it's from 2017.
Hmm.
Let's just try it with a band in my key in the studio. And if we love it, cool. If we don't love it, we don't have to do it.
Yeah, you got to listen to the inner
And
voice.
the band really just brought it to life. And I was like, this song feels so fitting for the end. It'll be near the end of this new album. So this new album that's coming up, it's the life cycle of a breakup. And,
Oof.
it really does go through like the entire story of red flags to
Mm,
the question of do I stay or do I leave,
right.
to the question of, or to the actual making the decision to go, to dealing with the loss of you don't have their family anymore. There's other people
Yeah.
you lose in the breakup.
Yeah.
And
It's more
then
than
to
just the one.
the life after you, like getting on with doing all those things you used to do as a couple by yourself.
Yeah.
And like those are the first 5 songs. And so the EP, there's going to be 3 EPs that basically are the full album.
Hmm.
And each one, the second EP is kind of like it's the you're finally single
I'm
and you're
back
still
out.
heartbroken, but you're going out and you're basically like you're leaning on your friends and kind of leaning on distracting yourself to get through the
Certainly.
breakup a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
still, it's that first step. And then the finale of it will be like I'm healing
Right.
and I'm thankful for everything I've learned through this and gonna move on. So
So part of the plan for 24
it's
is a
the whole
lot of new
year.
music,
The whole year is laid out. It's pretty crazy.
touring.
I honestly, I have a few shows on the books, but I really want to get on a tour or I'm s- I don't have necessarily the full team built. I'm kind of new in this industry and
Yeah.
I don't have a booking agent right now. I was with CAA and I'm trying right now to figure out if I want to do what kind of
Oh,
touring I want to do.
right.
Because there's many different ways of doing it. But I love playing shows and I
Mhm.
love meeting people in person
Well, you'll
that
find
come to
what's
these
right.
shows. So I think I bet if you check back in like a month, there's probably going to be a lot more dates added to
Oh,
the
I love it.
calendar. Yeah.
Speaking of checking back, make sure you're following along on socials and adding Julia to all of your playlists and all of your whatever, wherever you get your music, your Spotify's, your iHearts, your Apples, your Amazons. The music is out there to be enjoyed and shared. And as you can tell, there's some really heartfelt stories and some authenticity, which goes so far. We have time for one more song this evening with Julia Cole. How would you like to take us out?
I'll play a song off of my record that came out this past summer. It's called, the record's called Country Sugar, but the song I'm going to play it's called In a World.
Hmm.
And if you've ever been in a relationship with someone where you really thought the future was going to be with them and you kind of had painted this whole world
Hmm.
and vision that disappears after a breakup, even if you
Yeah.
know the breakup was the right decision, it's just this harsh reality of like all those plans you made are out the window.
Right.
And I just want to say thank you again so much for having me and give me such a great excuse to drink wine
Thank
tonight.
you.
And it's been
Always.
so fun. You're amazing. I can't wait till you're in Nashville and I'm here
I
at the
know
same
we will
time.
definitely catch up, and especially now that I am hooked into a lot of like-mindedness. Like you said, like everybody goes through these experiences, and it's just like, when you find somebody that actually put it into words and actually perform it so beautifully, it just brings it all together in a different kind of world. But again, thank you for being a part of our Jam Happy Hour, and I look forward to seeing you live very, very soon.
Well, thank you so much. And this one is called In a World.
Here's Julia Cole in the Jam Happy Hour.
You kiss my neck, put your arms around me while I brush my teeth at the bathroom sink. We were waking up, still a little drunk, off bottle box wine on the couch that night. Crazy how time flies, that was last July. We haven't talked since August, if I'm being honest. You told me I was all you needed. You said forever, I believed it. Oh, I saw everything we could be. Oh, in a world where you still loved me. Sitting shotgun, riding uphill some dirt road, talking about a dream house we'd build. You were making plans, so I don't understand how it went from that to a U-Haul packed, you heading out west, never looking back. It shouldn't hurt this much, but you messed me up, 'cause you told me I was all you needed. You said forever, I believed it. Oh, I saw everything we could be. Oh, in a world where you still love me. In a world where you still love me. You told me I was all you needed. You said forever, I believed it. Oh, I saw everything we could be. Oh, in a world where you still love me. You told me I was all you needed. You said forever, I believed it. Oh, I saw everything we could be. Oh, in a world where you still loved me. In a world, 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 in a world where you still loved me.
You need wine.
I do.
You need wine. Beautiful song. I love it.
you.
In a world, just another taste of what you can expect following along and enjoying the music of Julia Cole. Thanks again, and cheers to you for joining us here in the Jam Happy Hour. And if you're ever out in Napa, please do come by.
Oh, I will. You can count on that.
She's like, yeah, count on it, 100%. Cheers, Julia. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.